Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to my channel, Ben Ventures. Looks like we have one person in the chat, waiting it up. Hopefully there's no echoes and hopefully the sound is okay and working properly. I'm gonna crack open this Fresca. Welcome to the chat. Just a thumbs up if you can hear me okay and the sound is all right. Hey, Julia. How's it going? I forgot how good Fresca is, actually. They're low in sugar, too. Oh, this one's a sugar-free one. They're not bad. Not bad at all. Got a thumbs up. Nice. Glad you're going well. Things are well. Yeah, apologies for the live stream last night. I kind of ended abruptly. Was very, very tired. To all you parents out there, new parents, existing parents, I got a huge amount of respect for you. It is not an easy job, and my job is easier than my wife's. So, massive amount of respect for you and the new parents. It's not an easy gig, especially the lack of sleep. It really kind of gets to you. Yeah, so we got a few people on the chat here. So today's episode, I guess if you want to call it an episode, we're going to talk about maybe some hidden gems up and around British Columbia, where I'm from. And British Columbia is a huge area, just massive, and there's tons of spots. So there's tons of spots maybe we'll talk about that I visited. I'm just going to reference maybe some of my own videos and just kind of showcase some of the spots that I was able to find over the years. And then maybe we can also talk about some spots that are your favorites that are kind of just off the beaten path. Maybe some spots that are kind of like hidden gems for you in British. And it doesn't have to be just in British Columbia. It can be anywhere in Canada if that floats your boat. And yeah, we can talk about those as well. And some places that I have on my bucket list of places to visit. So we'll get into the video. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to showcase a couple of my own videos of some spots that I just absolutely loved visiting. And if you have it a sec, oh hey Amanda, how's it going? Thanks for jumping back on. Yeah. And we'll showcase just some of the places that I visited, and maybe what I'll do is this time I'll put the links in my description. So if you guys want to look at the full video, and I think typically on my videos I'll put like the all trails. It's either the all trails or the government website that shows the locations. So I'll try to put that in the description so you guys can check it out. Hello, hey, welcome to the chat. And so this. I think what I'm going to do for these live chats is I'm going to have them a little bit earlier in the day. I kind of started it a little bit later last night, and that's not really keeping into account anybody that's on the East Coast that wants to join in, or anybody that's elsewhere in the world that wants to sort of tune into, I wouldn't call it a podcast, but just some of these live videos, because I enjoy doing them. They're lots of fun. Yeah. No, this is not a beer. I wish it was. That'd be nice. Just a nice little cold Fresca. So let's jump right into it. Let's check out some of the spots that I was able to find along the way. Some of my faves. Some of them are, actually the majority of them are like really easy hikes. It doesn't take long to get into them. Some of them you can sort of drive right into. Yeah, it looks like we have now a few on the chat, so welcome aboard. But let's get into the first spot here. So this set of waterfalls is called Bosumarne Falls. And it's in the Chilliwack area. I'll just maximize this. And it's a really, really easy hike. Let me just actually load up the distance of this hike. But again, it's called Bosumarne Falls. Let's see if I can't open up a new window here. Bosumarne Falls. All trails. Yeah, here it is right here. Arthur, wow. Welcome to the chat. Little popcorn emoji. Yeah, so this is the Bosumarne Falls, which I'm going to showcase. So the length of it is 2.6 kilometers. It's an easy one. It's flat. There's no real hillage in it. And it's out of a city called Chilliwack, British Columbia. As you can see, it's only like 142 meters of elevation. So for you real crazy avid hikers, this is like an absolute breeze for you. And yeah, it's out of the Chilliwack area. It's near Chilliwack Lake. And it's an absolute beauty of a spot. I don't know how much camping there is on the actual trail to the Bosumarne Falls, but there's lots of camping up and around before the trail, and actually just on the start of the trail, so you'll find some good camping spots here. But let's check it out and see what it looks like, because it's a beautiful spot. Look at the views. I think on this particular day, this was during the fires. Like the fires maybe had just started, so you can see how hazy it is. It was such a hazy day. Let's maximize that so you guys can see the whole thing. Oh yeah, it was absolutely breathtaking. So I wanted to try and capture a view of the waterfalls from a distance. This is kind of where the entrance was to the trail, but this is the waterfalls here. Welcome to the chat, guys. Just throw a quick thumbs up in there if you can hear it okay. It's funny, I love doing those little cheesy walk-by shots that you see in every hiking and camping video. So we'll just jump ahead, and I think during this time there was some remnants of like a previous forest fire here, yeah. Or maybe this was lightning had struck this one.
I think there's people burning it.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look. So this drone shot was actually really sketch. It took me a while to actually film this because I was nervous I was going to hit a branch and a tree along the way up. But it's a nice little waterfall. It's a sweet spot, nice easy hike. You can bring your dog in there as well. And during the summer, it's probably got from what I remember, it's got a nice little pool that you can jump into and sort of cool off after the hike. Maybe I'll turn closed caption off so it's not bugging you guys. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is just a view from a little bit further of the waterfall.
Check it out, guys.
A little bit of a possible shelter here if you needed it, really.
And then right next to the waterfall, there's a little sort of overhang that you can probably set up like a tarp. It's not flat though, so that's kind of neat.
Kind of a bit of a natural overhang.
I've actually, I'll put the trail in the description for you guys to check out, but you can walk you can continue walking up the trail. I don't know exactly where that leads, but it's always been a curiosity of mine.
Looks like a few people have
Maybe at least sat in here.
Yeah, and the name of this is Bosumarne Falls. I'll show you guys here. That pool looks really refreshing, doesn't it?
Mountain chili.
Nice. Yeah, that's the first spot that you definitely need to put on your list. Again, it's called Bosumarne Falls, and I'll try to put everything I can in the description. So if you're from the area and you were not aware of it, or you're visiting the area, I'll give you some information so you can check it out on your own. Awesome spot. Again, it's out of Chilliwack. So the next one here is, and you may have seen. Oh, thanks, Amanda. Yeah. So my hikes are either picked from other videos that I've seen, or there's magazines that I get that have some of these hikes in them. You can get them anywhere. Like I think you can get some of these magazines from Atmosphere or MEC. They have maps and a variety of really cool spots. And really, I've only sort of it's a pinhead compared to what is actually out there in British Columbia. Like I've really only kind of stayed around the Vancouver, Squamish area, Vancouver Island a little bit as well. But I mean, you can go up north and there's just tons and tons of places that you can visit. Thanks for joining the chat, guys. So this next spot is one of my favorites. I have gone 3 times up to this point. And it's a nice cave called the Chipmunk Caves. And it's also in the city of Chilliwack in British Columbia here in Canada. And this spot it's creepy, it's awesome, it's a little cave. And again, it's another easy hike. We'll look up the details shortly here. Again, so all trails, Chipmunk Caves. Yeah. So the actual hike is more videos with dogs, yeah. I definitely need more videos with dogs. Totally. So this hike, easy peasy. 2.1 kilometers, 52 meters elevation gain. That's like nothing. And this place has tons of camping spots. Tons of camping spots along the way. I counted like 4 or 5 really solid ones along the river. And it's called the Vetter River in Chilliwack. So it's an easy peasy hike. And it's a nice little run too. Like if you want to just do a quick day run. And just 2 kilometers in and out. Or if, yeah, it's a gorgeous hike. But let's check out a video. Turn closed caption off here.
I see the trail now. It should take us to the caves.
I don't know about you guys, but I love doing hikes during the winter time and during the fall. Like the trails are completely empty, nobody's in there, and that's why I love camping so much in the winter, because it's just like complete peace and there's nobody around. But as you can see, the river's running pretty thoroughly here.
As you can see, the river is flowing just super rapidly. We've had a lot of rain and a lot of snow melt, so
let's check out the cave.
Made it to the caves. Wow. Check it out.
So it doesn't look like much when you're walking up to it, but the closer you get into it, it's a lot bigger than it looks. The video really doesn't do it justice. But the cave is not massive. Like, it's not a massive cave. You can't go for long distances into the cave. And I've been told there's also other caves in the area. I tried to get a drone up to get some shots.
All right, I got some
But
light for us here now.
I tried to get a drone up to get some shots to locate some of the other caves, and I couldn't find any. So there's one right next to it, but it's just a small little cave.
And I thought that this cave kind of ends right here, but it seems to keep going. So with my adventure sort of nature, I've got to go in and check it out. I have to. But check it out, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so Julia said that an empty campground all to yourself, winning the lottery. Rarely happens, but so cool when it does. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but whenever you're trying to book a campsite these days, you're having to wait as soon as the schedule opens. You have to wait, and like in the second you have to book it because it books up like solid for the year. It's incredibly crazy. And I remember for a little while that there was some concern there was companies that were like basically blocking out and reserving all the spots and then reselling them to tourist companies. I don't know if you guys ever heard that before, but I think they stopped doing that and they put some things in place to stop that from happening. But yeah, there was like tourist companies just reserving all the spots, and then it would close out, and then they would resell it with like their touring packages or like their things, which is completely frustrating for somebody that just wants to go camping with their family, and so. And I had to just walk in this cave. I had to walk inside of it. It was just calling to me.
So it actually keeps going underneath.
I was worried that there was a cat of sorts, or maybe a bear that was kind of hibernating inside of the cave. It's a sweet spot. I don't understand why there wouldn't be any animals in there. Maybe it's because it's frequented by
I am hoping
humans,
that
but
there is no big cats in there. And if you're claustrophobic, you may want to switch the channel over, but I'm going to go inside, and hopefully there's no big creepy crawlies in there that'll freak me out.
I had to make some sounds. Not that would scare a cat away. It probably ringing the dinner bell for the cat, I would imagine.
That's freaky.
Anybody new to the chat, thanks for joining. Yeah, feel free to post some comments on there as well.
Oh, wow.
And if you got some spots that you want me to check out and share with everybody, feel free to put that in the chat as well, and I'll open it up and maybe check out some videos.
It goes through and it exits that way. That is neat. Let's go further in, shall we?
It does seem like I'm calling to it, yeah. Come here, little fella. Yeah, that was terrible. Terrible idea. I mean, obviously this cave is frequented by lots of people. There's
Interesting.
spray paint in there and stuff. That's so annoying that people that just like to spray paint everything.
Pretty cool stuff. There's tons of moths in here.
Yeah, and then when you exit the cave,
Check
there's
that out
like
as
a
well.
cool little ladder that you can climb up.
The staircase.
And I had to go up and down on a couple of occasions to get the shot, so it was a little precarious, but really, really neat. Look at the cave on the side here. It just looks like it's all chiseled away, right? So interesting. And this is kind of the entranceway. This is the exit that we were looking at when I went through the actual cave.
The entranceway is into the cavern. Goes all the way through to where I was. There's another little hole that's been corroded.
Yeah, I just want to show you guys a little wood-burning stove that I like to use. I just got it on Amazon. It was relatively cheap, and it works well. I love that. I'd rather use like wood-burning stuff all day long rather than butane or and the other stuff, but I just happened to grab some popsicle sticks from the dollar store. I don't know, it's probably not good for me, I would imagine. I don't know if they treat it with anything, but yeah, I'd rather use actual wood than butane or propane or the other gases. It works well though. Yeah, so the name of this one is Chipmunk Caves. And again, like all the other ones, I'll put the video and... Actually, I'll just put the video in the description, because in the video's description, it'll show, I think, all the All Trails information that you need to know. Sweet little spot. Yeah, so the next one is definitely one of my favorites. The next spot is... So how do you decide which cooking kit to bring with you? To be honest with you, I kind of just decide last minute. I'm not very well planned and thought out. So I'll take a trip to Save On Foods or Safeway. And then I decide, I'll just kind of walk the aisles and figure out what I want to eat. Unless it's dehydrated meals, then I've actually pre-purchased a whole bunch of those that I keep in my storage. So I'll just pick the flavor that I want, which is like, chicken Alfredo or chili or whatever, and I'll just bring that along with me. But it's whatever I'm feeling for the day. So on one of my other videos, I made some sloppy joes because I was feeling nostalgic. I'm like, you know what? I feel like making sloppy joes for myself. So I didn't see one chipmunk, so Amanda asked, Ben, is there lots of chipmunks? Didn't see one chipmunk. So I don't know why they call it Chipmunk Caves, but... Yeah, so this next spot is called Mount Cheam, or Cheam. So I've been told there's a couple of ways to pronounce it. There's one way of pronouncing it. I always call it Mount Cheam. And this also is in the Chilliwack area of British Columbia. I know I'm kind of staying around the Chilliwack area on this video, but on future videos I'll cover off some other spots that I have visited. And yeah, this hike. I'm relatively in good shape. I run quite often, around 10 to 12 kilometers every other day, every 3 days. So I'm relatively in okay shape. This hike actually it felt like my heart was like popping out of my chest, and it was not easy for me. The people I was hiking with, they crushed it. They were well ahead of me, and then I kept making an excuse while I got my camera gear with me and stuff, but they were just in better shape. But this hike, I'll be honest with you, I didn't find it easy. I found it was a bit of a challenge. The trail itself is easy, there's not a lot of roots and stuff, but an absolute stunner of a trail. And so let's look it up on All Trails so that I can show you guys what it looks like. Mount Cheam All Trails. Yeah. No Alvin and the Chipmunk, exactly. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for jumping on. So this length is out and back 8.7 kilometers. 679 meters of elevation. For you, like crazy avid hikers that you do this all the time, 679 is not that difficult. It's pretty straightforward. For me, like I said, my heart just felt like it was popping out of my chest. But it is worth every step of the way along this trail. The views are absolutely incredible. And from what I've been told, Mount Cheam is getting a gondola. So they're going to be putting a gondola to the top of the mountain, which in my opinion is going to ruin it. People are going to start leaving garbage and crap in the park. That's what I think is going to happen, but you need to put this trail on your bucket list because it's a beauty of a trail. So let's check it out.
Adventures, and it is a rainy day. It's about 15 degrees Celsius.
So on this particular day, it was pretty rainy and cloudy. So when I got to the top, you'll see it, the views just cleared right up. I was very, very lucky.
Welcome to Mount Cheam. I don't exactly know how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
I've been told a couple of ways of pronouncing it, so I always just pronounce it as Mount Cheam. But that's the look of the mountain there. Gonna go all the way up there.
Yeah, it looks, when you're looking at the picture, it looks pretty demanding. The it just goes straight up.
Beautiful hike. So round trip is 9 kilometers. And I'll give you guys the elevation in the description, but the elevation is...
So this is relatively like what the trail is like at the beginning. It's flat.
That's okay.
And you walk through this amazing scenery. And on a sunny day, it's just...
Nice. Last time I was here,
it's epic.
you could hear like 20 coyotes in that area over there inside the forest.
I'll turn the volume up maybe so you guys can hear a little bit more.
And just saw a little bit of coyote crap, so I'd imagine this is kind of their...
And you cross this little bridge, which goes over like a little trickling creek, I guess you would call it. I don't know if it looks like a creek to me. I don't know. Look at that. Look at that view. I mean, it's beautiful.
So, yeah.
And then you come up to this
It's more of a pond.
lake.
I'm told you can take a dip in there during the summer.
And I've been here during the summer as well.
And the view from up there looking down on this lake is pretty awesome.
And I don't know, I've never seen anybody swimming in this lake. I think it's called like Spoon Lake or something like that. Again, it's more the size of a pond. It doesn't even look like a lake.
Flat part. And now we're heading uphill. So this is where the elevation gain starts.
And you can probably see I'm already starting to struggle here.
It goes up to the top of Cheam. So I don't think it's going to make it nicer. More people can enjoy the views, I guess, but yeah.
So at this point of the hike, I decided to kind of, I was taking too many shots and I was slowing down. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start jogging most of the rest of the way, which was not a smart idea.
Gain a little bit of time here and do a little bit of trail running, possibly until I get to the Jones Lake lookout point. So, yeah.
And during the summer, this view is absolutely outstanding. My pack wasn't heavy at all. It was, I don't know, maybe 7-8 pounds or something. Luckily, my cameras are very small. It's just GoPro cameras, but probably just with my water and my gear and stuff, 8 pounds, maybe 8 to 10 pounds. I just used that as an excuse to seem like I was really tired because of my gear, but it actually wasn't that heavy. So let's take you to the top. So once you get to the top of Mount Cheam, you come across this like super cool rock fort that's been made over the years. I guess people have continued to stack rocks up on top of it. And yeah, you just walk into it.
Somebody stacked a bunch of rocks in here. And yeah, pretty neat. Oh, so cool.
Look at that.
We're almost above the clouds.
I wonder how many people have actually camped inside of that. I'm looking rough, by the way, in that video.
We made it above the cloud lines here.
How incredible is that, right?
And actually, you can, there's a little tent spot right down there. Looks like they cleared it up.
So Amanda, you mentioned about chipmunks. Yes. So you ask if hiking poles make a difference. 100% hiking poles make a difference for me. I used to be like, chin up. I'm never using hiking poles. Like I'm gonna tough it out and sort of just hike without them. Man, when I started using hiking poles, particularly in trails that were really bouldery for me, it did wonders for my ankles. So I strongly suggest poles, hiking poles. Since I started using them, I absolutely love them. When you get into like steep stuff like this, it felt like more of a hindrance, to be honest. Except when you're going back down, I felt like it was a little bit more supportive on, you know, the fronts of your legs. But on the way up, it was a bit more of a hindrance. But yeah, those long flat hikes, 100% get a pair. And Amanda, you mentioned about chipmunks, so you're gonna see one of the cutest chipmunks you'll ever see.
You're back, are you? Hello. Hello. You back, are you? You back? Hey, how you doing? Hey, sorry, I wish I had food for you. Ow! Did you bite me? Hey,
Yeah, he certainly did bite
nice.
me.
That's not nice. That's not very nice of you. Did you bite me? Yeah, I see you give me that look. Look at that view. Oh my gosh. Ooh, it just cleared up.
Yeah, if you're not a big fan of heights, yes, this one. I mean, you can always stay back away from the ledge. For me, I'm not the craziest with hikes. I'm not very good with them. But I'm continuing to force myself to walk up to ledges like this and try and do some films and turn around. And I don't know if you guys share this, but if I'm around, if I'm in heights like this and I start turning around, I start getting really dizzy. And I don't do well, but I seem to be okay on this hike. But if I'm on a peak where both sides of me have like a massive drop off, my body starts shutting down. I start getting a little dizzy, but I work my way through it. And I force my way through it. It's really kind of sketch for me, at least. Yeah, he bit me. Yeah, Amanda. Yeah, that chipmunk's a little chunky little fella too. He's used to people coming up there and feeding him nuts and stuff like that. So not scared of humans at all.
Much windier up here.
So look at that view from up top. I can't tell you enough. And this is a cloudy day, right? So when you go here on a sunny day, the stuff that you can see from up top of this mountain is incredible. I'm not sure if that's the Fraser River or what, but
It is absolutely amazing.
This spot is a must visit. Maybe do some practice runs on different trails, or if you have some steps in your area. Like for me, I have something called the Coquitlam Crunch in a city called Coquitlam in British Columbia. So do a bunch of stairs to get yourself ready for this trail. If you're not an avid hiker, you can get it done, not a problem at all. And the whole thing will probably take you around 3 hours if you take your time and you stay up there for a bit and you take in the views. It's really not bad of a hike. I was just complaining the entire way. Mount Cheam or Cheam. Let's see what else we got here. So, Jones Lake. Another beautiful spot. Jones Lake, let's look it up. I don't know if that'll be on all trails or not, but let's see if it is. Jones Lake. Oops. All trails. Oh, yeah, it is there. Huh. .9 kilometers, which I'm assuming is talking about going around the lake, or I don't know, maybe there's a trail that you can go into, but you can actually drive right into Jones Lake. Unless this is, maybe this isn't the same one. Oh, this is New Brunswick, sorry. Yeah, that's New Brunswick. I guess there's a lot of Jones Lakes. Columbia. Yeah, I don't see it on all trails, but if you look it up, And again, I'll put the video in the description for you guys to check out. You'll be able to find it. It's easy. It's an easy drive-in. During the summer, it is out of control busy, I've been told. So that's why, again, I went during the winter, and there was literally nobody there. Turn closed caption off, and check it out. Yeah, Cocoa Crunch, it's not easy. It's actually deceiving, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm off to try and find a...
So to get to Jones Lake, you just go, you drive along a logging road, which is not crazy. Let me just pause this. It's not a hard road to drive down. I've got like a RAV4, but you could probably get it done in a sedan without an issue. And I think it's probably around 20 minutes, 30 minutes along this logging road, and then it'll take you to Jones Lake. And there's a little residential area before you get into the lake. But yeah, the road is pretty much like this the whole way.
Lake is called, I believe it's an indigenous snow, so we must be at a decent elevation, because if you see, you can kind of see the snow line just hitting.
Great spot for winter camping. There's tons of camping spots. Whether you tent, whether you have a hammock tent, or, you know, to be honest with you, you could just pull your trailer right in here too and just back it in and you'd be totally fine. So the temperature was probably around -2, -3 degrees in Celsius.
Is beautiful.
Which let's do that. -2 Celsius to Fahrenheit. It usually just shows you, like, when you do a search for that. But whatever. Yeah, it was cold. Coldish, but definitely had quite a view. Look at that view. And as you can see, there is nobody there.
I think I'm gonna have a fire right there. It's already kind of set up.
I ended up changing my mind on the fire because of the wind, so it was quite windy actually.
Yeah, this will do. It looks like there's like a logging cabin across there or something.
See if I can get some overhead shots here to show you guys what it looks like. So you can see the nice snow line here, and I think the next day or the day after that snow line dropped down and there was snow everywhere up to this point. But it's a higher elevation as far as this particular lake. Yeah, there's tons of camping spots along the lake. But again, my suggestion is to go during the summer. Go during the winter or fall when there's less people. But more and more these days, I'm finding a lot of people with rigs with, rooftop tents and small little buddy trailers and that type of stuff. So, absolutely gorgeous spot. Jones Lake. And again, I'll put that video in the description for you guys to check out. But
it's crazy. It's actually...
You can't tell me that doesn't look amazing. Nice just fire right along the lake. Cook up some sloppy joes or whatever your meal of choice is. Or just get some big steaks. Have a cold beer. And the beer stays cold because it's cold temperature.
Good boy.
This is our friend's dog, Vader. Yeah, on this trip I cooked up some nice ribs. And
there we go.
I just got the ribs from Save On, like the frozen ones. You just put them in the fridge, bring them with you. The only problem is all the packaging and stuff, but it was good. Look at that. I know that that's making you hungry. Yeah. Jones Lake. Let's check out another location here. So, this location is off of a lake called Harrison Lake in British Columbia, in Harrison. Now, I saw somebody make a video about this not too long ago, and they actually put the specific coordinates of this abandoned gold tunnel in their video. And I put it on my phone. I'm like, no, these coordinates aren't going to work. I'm going to have to really look for this spot. But the coordinates were right spot on to this abandoned gold mining tunnel. And it was so cool. We almost drove right past it, actually. You can't even see the entrance. It's so small. It's not like saying, oh, cave entrance or right here, right? So it's easy to miss. So you basically drive along Harrison Road.
Just temperature, I'll get that.
And there's obviously two sides of Harrison Lake. So there's the east side and then there's the west side. This particular cave is on the east side of the lake. And so you're driving along logging roads like... Let's see if I show it. Yeah, we did a little off-roading with my friend's Bronco. But it's logging roads like this pretty much the whole way. It's great to have an off-road vehicle, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, so I think we found it because there's a little trail that's going into it. So let's try and go inside here and check it out. All right, let's go check this out. Oh wow, this is cool. See, as you can see, the cave entrance is very small. Like, it's very easy to miss. You wouldn't even see it. There's no signage, there's no nothing, so I didn't even know this existed. I've lived in this country my entire life, never even heard of this, so it was pretty cool to watch that video. And maybe I'll put his video also in the description. Cool. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Okay, when I get excited about something, I'm very, very vocal. I start making weird noises.
Steve, I got a light. Yo, I got a really good light. There we go. Whoa, look at this.
It's funny, because when I said I have a very good light, my light battery died halfway through the tunnel, which was kind of creepy.
This is neat. There's a lot of bugs in here. Oh, there's lots of bugs.
See, it looks like almost old mine tracks on them.
Yeah, some old mine tracks here. Oh.
So we just kept going and going, and it really had a crazy musky smell. Again, I wasn't sure if there was any animals in this tunnel. Was there cougars or bears? And if there was, to be quite frank, there would be nowhere for us to run except for back. And so that was on my mind for sure. But
And you wouldn't even see it. Like, it's easy to miss.
Side you so I can get some of your light.
so it goes a pretty good distance, actually.
This is cool, man.
And at a certain point, I'm like, should I turn back? I don't know how far in this goes. Yeah, it was really creepy, actually.
That's pretty cool. I don't know how much further we want to go in, though.
It's getting near our margin, whatever. I'll go a little bit further.
And this is just us exiting the cave. I had to keep turning my light on and off. It is so dark. As soon as my light went off in the middle of the tunnel, I'm like, oh man, this is not good timing.
There we go.
But yeah, goes in there for a fair distance. I don't know what you would call this. It's just there's no specific name that you can search up, I don't think. But
Yeah. Ooh.
You go to the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's back there.
Yeah, you got your headlamp?
You.
I saw this little fella right before I exited. Little frog.
He's got a nice little home in here. All right, we're making our way out of the tunnel here now.
So, one other place that I want to showcase, which is actually on this video as well, is these hot springs that are on the east side of the lake as well. So there's hot springs on the west side of Harrison Lake, and there's hot springs on the east side. The ones on the west side are about 80 to 90 kilometers away, and roughly around the same distance, I would say, on the east side. The hot springs on the west side are more natural, like they're natural hot springs. So you can go in, jump in, there's a creek right next door, cool off, jump back in the hot springs. And then the ones which I'm about to showcase, I think is on this video, is on the east side. Let's see if I actually put the information about the hot springs here. No, I didn't put the information on the hot springs, but I'll put that information in the description. So let's go. So we just arrived at the hot springs. And again, this is on the east side of Harrison Lake. So this side, it has like man-made hot tubs, if you will. So I think there's 3 or 4 hot tubs, and then they have the hot water running into the hot tubs. I don't know why they made hot tubs and they just didn't keep it natural. So I'm not sure, but...
Hey, buds. Hey, there's a good boy. Good boy. I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, so it just looks like that. I mean, nobody was obviously in that one because it looks kind of gross and disgusting. But yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't keep it natural and why they wanted to funnel it into some hot tubs. I don't know. Pretty cool. And this is kind of what the road looks like to get to the hot springs. Relatively straightforward. It gets pretty bumpy. It'd be good to have an off-road vehicle for this for sure. But look at the landscape. Harrison Lake is a must if you want to find some good camping. Again, summer, super busy, and it's super annoying. Tons of people leave garbage and stuff along the roads. It's really annoying. But Harrison Lake, there's lots of off-roads, offshoot logging roads that you can go down and find a spot set up. And just beautiful lake. Highly recommend Harrison Lake for some camping. Yeah, on one of my future live chats, Amanda, you mentioned never seen a hot spring. Yeah, Harrison has like a hot spring that's kind of like it's inside of a building that you can go in. And it's right at Harrison Hot Spring. So if you want to see like a hot spring right out of the gates, you can. These ones I like because it's more natural, right? You're just out in the wilderness. But on one of my future live videos, I'm going to showcase what the hot spring looks like on the west side of the lake, and also some camping spots that are over on that side. I like that hot spring way more than the one that I just showcased you here. Yeah, and if there's any hot springs that that you guys have visited on the chat, maybe feel free to put some comments in there or a video that you like that you've seen, and I'll look at that as well. Pretty awesome. You know what? Actually, I have the video up, so I'm going to show you what the west side of the hot spring looks like. I didn't realize I already opened it for you guys, so let's showcase what that looks like. The name of the hot springs on the west side is called Sloquet Hot Springs. This one is far better, in my opinion. It's natural. Just be cautious if you are bringing family, particularly children or young ones. Some people that soak in these hot springs prefer not to wear clothing. So, yeah, just be cautious of that. There is a lot of nudity in that particular hot spring. Yeah, so there's I don't know exactly what makes it hot, Amanda, but there's something as far as whether it be lava flow or something beneath the ground that's happening, that's heating up the water and making it sort of protrude out. I don't exactly know what that process is, so I'm gonna sort of plead ignorance on that one. The same sort of thing. You drive along the west side on a logging road. Now, on the west side, to get to these hot springs, you're definitely going to want to have an off-road vehicle, in my opinion. You can try and gun it on like in a sedan or something, but you most likely will bottom out somewhere on some of these parts. So you're going to drive all the way until you hit the end of the lake, and then there's going to be a logging sort of logging area here. And so this is the very, very end. It's about 75 kilometers to the end of the lake. Give or take.
All right, well, we find...
And we ended up getting there late, so we were just setting up camp. We got there a little bit late. It was dark. But let's see. Yeah. I'll show you guys. So, from the campsite, in the States, you need to pay to even drive into some parks. Is that a thing in BC, Canada? Yes, it is. Yeah, so... that actually, I got hit with that at a place called Weaver Lake. So if you basically have to pay for a day pass, and that's actually the case with a lot of our campsites. Is there's a day pass you pay for, it gets you parking. You can't spend the night overnight. My baby's smiling at me here. Yeah, so you have to pay for a day pass. And then you also have like an overnight pass for backcountry stuff. So yeah, we have the exact same stuff here in Canada. So this hike is relatively quick. From the campsite down to the actual hot spring. It gets really steep, and there's a part where you need to use a rope to sort of climb down. So if you're camping and you're having a few wobbly pops and you're drinking a bit, just be very careful when you're coming up and down here at night, especially if you're drinking wobbly pops while you're sitting in the hot spring. As we all know, we know what happens when that goes down, right? So, yes, you just hike down.
Coming up on the hot springs now, you can see the steam coming off. You can really start to smell the sulfur as well.
I don't know if that's a sulfur smell, but I said in the video, but it smells like sulfur to me, so. So that's obviously not the hot spring. I think that's a river, or it's a fast-moving creek. I don't know exactly. So then we climb down this rope. So I had to watch what I was filming, because you never know what you could be filming, as we talked about earlier. You got to be very careful when you're climbing down here. That's basically what you climb down. And here it is. Here's the hot springs.
There we go. And we're at the hot springs.
That water was really hot.
I think I've got a little shack.
A little changing station there.
Got a little.
Let's see if I can't.
Not do that. Usually.
So there's multiple pools. Obviously, some of them are hotter than others. I was just picking up some garbage to kind of take away with me because, again, people are the worst. They just leave garbage and beer cans and crap all over the place.
So
Not really a care
They're
for
not even
nature
warm.
anymore, which is really frustrating. But that's what it looks like. It looks very natural,
Alright, well, it's
right?
time for us to head out of this beautiful spot.
Great spot. Great spot. Again, name of this one is Sloquet Hot Springs, and that's just off of Harrison Lake. Now, I want to talk about a place that is on my bucket list of places to visit. And this place is called San Josef's Bay. Has anybody in the chat visited this place at all, or? Doesn't look like they have. But this is a spot in Vancouver Island. And I'm just going to give a shout out to this guy's channel here, because I was looking up videos and I found this guy's video. And yeah, he just showcases San Josef Bay. Again, it's in Vancouver Island. It's a ferry ride across, and then there's a bit of a drive, I'm assuming, to get to this location. But it is voted very high up as far as places to visit. So let's check it out. And name of this channel is Alex and MJ. Again, Alex and MJ. And yeah, I'm gonna put this video, and I'll just tag their channel to my video. But let's check it out.
Thing you need to know about this place to be well prepared for your next.
Located northwest of Vancouver Island.
Okay, so it's pretty up on the island, so you're gonna have to drive a long distance.
5 minutes on the clock. We're gonna try our best to low tide. When planning your trip to San Josef Bay, we would highly suggest that you allow yourself for a full day adventure. And we do recommend, because there's a lot of driving involved, that you either
that's gonna be
stay
a
in
long
Port
drive.
McNeil or Port Hardy, which are both the most north towns, cities of Vancouver Island. We personally stayed in Port McNeil, and according
Let's see what drive time is from Victoria. Drive time, Victoria to Port McNeil. Yeah, 5 hours and 11 minutes to drive there. That's a long drive, and then you have to get to the spot, but worth it, especially if you want to do 3 or 4 nights as a little bit of a vacation.
According to Google Maps, while driving from Port McNeil all the way to, if you have a 4x4, you might be able to go a little faster, but in our case, we had to take our sweet time. So make sure you do have at least half a tank of gas, just because you're not gonna be,
There's nothing
on the road. There is a little village called Holberg.
Holberg.
There's not much to see
I've
there,
never actually been to this
except
place.
We do recommend that you stop. There's a little parking lot, and you can have a beautiful
Oh my gosh,
view
that's beautiful.
on the water, the surrounding mountains. It is quite breathtaking, especially if you have a nice and beautiful sunny day like we had the chance to have. Boots on the trail, but it can be muddy because it's a rainy area. So there might be some.
So there's also a trail hike that you can do, which is in the north part of Vancouver Island. It's called the North Coast Trail. So if I look that up, North Coast Trail, all trails. So there's the West Coast Trail and there's the North Coast Trail. You may have heard of the West Coast Trail and may not have heard of the North Coast Trail. The North Coast Trail is a multi-day hike, and it's on my list. 44.4 kilometers, and you got an elevation gain of 1,298 meters. So it's 12 hours, 24 point to point. So point to point. And I've heard it's gorgeous. But this part of Vancouver Island's full of cougars, wolves, bears, and actually one TV show which is called Alone. I don't know if you guys are outdoor adventurers or you've heard of the show called Alone. They actually dropped some of these people into the North Island by themselves to survive for a multi-day sort of survival challenge. And it's a great show to watch because you hear wolves kind of running in their campsite overnight, but it's they mentioned muddy. It's extremely muddy. It's very, very muddy.
Mud on the trail.
Also in this area, you are in the wild, so you could see wolf, you could see bear, you could see cougars, so be aware. and there's some sign that tells you how to fight with a wolf.
Yes, with your fist like this. Once you finally arrive,
Oh boy, look at that. That looks beautiful. Oh my gosh.
You're gonna be
Happy?
yes, again. You will see San Josef Bay beach. It is 2 kilometers wide. It is
Beautiful.
beautiful,
my
and
God.
the reason why we mentioned that you want to make sure that you go during low tide is because you're going to see these little kind of islands. I guess when there's water there, these rocks become islands. Anyways, with low tide, you get a chance to walk between those little islands and rocky things, and it's super beautiful, which makes it super unique and very
That is
cool.
so neat.
Seriously, it's one of our best place we've seen on Vancouver Island. You've been driving all day, you've been walking.
Fight a wolf,
and
yeah.
then Baclao.
Baclao.
There's like this beach. We're not used to see those
Kind of
area
landscapes
place.
Here in Canada.
It's just awesome.
It's beautiful.
Just go there.
Just go.
I like the drone
It's
shots. They
beautiful.
got really good drone
Last
shots.
little bit of info before we end things off. It was 100.
I like this video actually. I like how they put a timer on the video up here on the top right. I like how they talk to the camera and they reference the different videos. Yeah, it's a great video actually, and they really showcase. But yeah, this place I'm putting it on my list. I have to check this place out. I'm gonna bring the family. I'm gonna camp out. I'm gonna maybe do a night. I do wonder about camping. Like I didn't hear any mention about any camping on their videos, so I'm curious if there has to be public campgrounds, I'm sure, but I'm wondering if there's, what we call crown land here, where you can sort of just set up a tent anywhere and camp it out. So I'm curious what that has in that area. I'm sure there's tons, because it's really wildernessy up there. Wildernessy? I don't know, is that a word? Yeah, great video, great channel actually. 1.29 thousand subscribers. Yeah, they should have more. How come they don't have more? They have good videos. I'm gonna like this video. Great video. Thank you for showcasing this spot. I will put this on my bucket list. Awesome. Well, folks, that does it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed some of the spots that I've visited. Look out for future live chats and get involved. If there's some spots that you want me to check out and sort of show everybody on chat, you just let me know and I will put that in there and we'll showcase some videos or some maps or some images, photos, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys jumping onto this video. Look out for more. And as I said before, I'm going to try and make these videos a little earlier so that anybody is getting ready for bed, is already close to there, they can watch and get involved. So